Okay, it is November 13th, and we are having our team meeting. And I want to start with some good news. Who's got something good to share tonight? And everybody jump at once.
Hey, it's Michelle.
Hey.
Hi. And I have some good news. I got in the mail, I got my lead certificate for completing the course. Well, the congratulations anyways from home office.
Yay.
I just messaged you, John.
Thank you. Awesome. That's so exciting. Did you like the lead program?
I really did. I really liked it a lot. Like the self-confidence that I gained from it and the personal development was amazing. I didn't expect to gain as much as I did. And, you know, everything's very logically laid out and every week is building upon each other. And it's really, really good. I really liked it a lot. And I would think even people who maybe are unsure about Team Leader, I feel should go through it because I just think you gain so much personally from it. It's really good.
For sure. I totally agree with you. Cool. Who else? Erin, you got anything?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. I never used the video function on this, so I didn't know how to work it. I hit my ATL numbers this week for the first time ever, so that was my really exciting news. So
awesome.
Got that. Like November 11th.
Congratulations. Yeah, hey.
That's nuts. So excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next.
Ashley, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
And?
I guess my exciting news is that I have my first party coming up on Saturday.
Woohoo! That's awesome. You excited?
I'm very excited. I'm kind of nervous as well.
Yes, well, that's right. It's all good nerves.
Right.
Anyone else?
I had a
lady. I'll
go.
Oh, okay, Tina, you go, and then the next person.
I had a lady actually have to cancel a week and a half ago, and before I reached out to her, because it was a funeral situation, so I wanted to give her time and space and let her figure out what they had to figure out, and she actually reached back out to me before I even could reach out to her, so I thought that was pretty exciting. I don't think that happens too often. I don't know. I thought that was exciting. So we got her party rebooked on the schedule.
That's awesome. When is it for? This month or?
It'll be for the first week of December.
That's awesome. Good for you. Who said that they would go next?
That was me, Jessica.
Oh, I thought it was you, Jess.
I am one BQ away from team leader numbers.
Oh my good Lord. Are you serious?
I am serious as a heart attack.
It's November 13th. Okay, this is what I love. The momentum of just what's happening between both organizations is just crazy because it's November 13th. Like, you know what I mean? It's not November 25th. It's just crazy. I just love it. I love it. Congratulations, Jess.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I hear Nora screaming, Mom! No, she's crying. So I apologize if anybody else can hear that. And she's stomping her feet. Anyone else? Tina's getting slapped in the face. Oh, the joys. Anyone else? Ashley?
I already shared my good news.
Oh, the other Ashley, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I can't hear her.
Yeah, I have another vendor event booked. So I have 2 in December, which I'm pretty excited about.
And didn't you book another thing in December today?
Yeah, my neighbor asked about something, so I sent her over just like a sample, and she tried it, and then she booked a workshop.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's
That's so
going
good. I
Thanks.
love it, especially going into December.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, anybody else before we get rocking and rolling here?
I've already got more in sales this month than I've done so far, and Thursday I have a party, and then I have 2 vendor events this weekend too. So,
way to go, Nicole. That's awesome. And you're actually one of our featured reps that are gonna be speaking tonight. So if you want, seeing you're unmuted, if you're like, before I just have her start talking. So Kayla and I always say that we find that third party, what's the word I'm looking for? Like there's the third party, like validation is just huge. So you hear me say something all the time, or you hear Kayla say something all the time, and it's like, okay. But then you start hearing like other reps across the country say it, or it just something different resonates with your head, in your mind. So we thought it'd be awesome to hear from you all, like what's working, your what's going on for your wins that have happened leading up to today and going into December. So we actually have 5 different reps that we're hoping that would share with us, and then kind of open it back up in the at the end for like Q&A with all of you, and want to hear kind of like what's stopping you, maybe if you feel like you're at a standstill with your business during this season. So Nicole, if you want to start us off, that'd be awesome.
okay. Well, I guess I joined in August, the end of August. I live on the other side of the state by Minnesota, and I met Kayla through a friend. And I loved her energy, so I kind of wanted to come play on her team. I actually came from another company doing the same thing and didn't really like it because I didn't like the company. I didn't like the lack of pay and the lack of incentive both for reps and hosts. So I was very, I really wanted to work with Wild Tree because I felt like they took really good care of their reps and their hosts. So that's what kind of drew me in. When I started, the thing I found was I had never heard of Wild Tree, and after I started, I realized nobody else over here has really heard of Wild Tree either. So I've really had a huge struggle even getting my friends and family to host for me or even to come to things, just because they have no idea what Wild Tree is. So they'll maybe or that, or, that, but not like a real party. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what else to do. So I started doing some vendor events, and now I've met people through my vendor events that are people I didn't know before, that are like all gung-ho about it. So I'm glad I took that step because I was really nervous about doing vendor events. So I'm glad I took that step. I'm really excited for mine this weekend. One of them is actually a quarter auction, which I've never heard of, but sounds like a lot of fun. So my focus now has really been obviously sales, but also just to kind of educate people what Wild Tree is all about, what we have to offer. And the bingo cards, like, I didn't think that was something that would motivate me, but it has hugely. And I shared on our lead call, I've really been focused on doing right now the 7 days of posting personal stories. And I've had 3 people that I never would have expected to even be interested. One of them, I'm in our Lions Club, I'm the youngest member. And a gentleman who's 70 years old reached out to me and was like, what's this Wild Tree stuff all about? It sounds like something I'd be interested in. So I actually met with him and his wife last night to look at it and see if it was something they were interested in. So I think, I don't remember who said it, but the LEAD program definitely gave me a lot more self-confidence and a lot more direction and ideas of different things to do rather than just doing the same old thing and saying, oh, it doesn't work, and kind of giving up. So between that and Carissa and Kayla's encouragement, that's been huge just in the last 3 months for me.
That's so awesome. And I like how you were, in the beginning, you had said that not a lot of people heard of Wild Tree. And I know we have several new people on both teams that have never heard of Wild Tree before. And and that can kind of make or break your business right there, because you either are going to push yourself to go outside your comfort zone like you're doing and do those vendor events and like just post and reach out to people, like, or you're just going to choose to just be in one spot and be like, well, this Wild Tree thing doesn't work because nobody knows what it is and no one wants to come to anything. So kudos to you for putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and getting uncomfortable and just going out there and sharing it, because that's really what it's all about. I mean, you could, sit behind a computer and try to post every single day and nothing happens. But the fact that you're like stepping outside and you're getting yourself out there, that's huge. I mean, I know Erin's got a few girls that are in areas they're like, no one's ever heard of this. But then they get kind of like hung up on like, I don't know how we're supposed to share this because no one's ever heard of it. And you don't want to be like crazy Wild Tree person, but you know what I mean? You just have to keep pushing forward and just keeping that positive attitude and keep sharing, and things will start happening just like for yourself. So thank you very much, Nicole, for sharing that. Michelle, would you like to go next? If you're still on?
I'm still here.
Okay.
So I'm Michelle. I've been with Wild Tree for just over a year. And Jess Huffman is my awesome team leader. She's amazing. And really just wanted to go for leadership just because we really need it financially. But also I just really want to help other women, be their own boss and kind of lead their own future and help other people that have dietary restrictions like myself and who just kind of struggle and are frustrated. And I got into the LEAD program and I just really like it. Like, it just helps your confidence so much. And I listened to the team call from yesterday that they did, or last week that they did at lunch. And they mentioned in there, like 80% is between your head and 20% is skill. And I think we're always looking for like the right words or the right script or the right post. And so much of it is just us. It's just your self-confidence, and the LEAD program really helped bring that out. And it just, not only do I see it with my Wild Tree business, but I'm starting to see it in, my day-to-day job as well. And it's just, it's helping me grow like in ways I didn't think was possible. And then on top of it all, today I had my review at my day job, which really didn't go as good as planned, and had a really crappy raise. And then I come home and I had the certificate from the LEAD program to say, congratulations on completing it from home office, which it was just such a nice surprise. And to realize that, I could give myself a 20% raise by going and hitting LEAD numbers, that's really motivating. So
that's awesome, Michelle. And two, it's nice that, whenever I went and worked at a corporate job, I never got a certificate of completing anything. It was like, here, you go work on a computer for a week. Oh, yep, and there's your desk and start your job. No one ever gave a crap about, getting that certificate. I think that's awesome that they sent those out, and it just means like they actually care about who the people are in the field and what they're doing, and they do listen to the things that we need. I mean, it might not go as quickly as we'd like to, but they still help us, and they still listen to all of our requests. And I just think that's awesome to work for someone that does that. And Michelle, you hit the nail on the head too. You get to choose to give yourself a raise. Like everyone here, even if you're not in the LEAD program, you get to decide like tomorrow if you want to give yourself a raise. You don't have to wait till your year mark or whatever. You get to decide that each and every single month. So thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing. I really appreciate you and your wins and your takeaways. And I love that the confidence level is there too. And that's, like you said, 80% of it's in your own head. So Ashley, do you want to, Ashley P, I think your last name is Ashley P, right? We have an Ashley L and an Ashley P. So Ashley P, do you want to give yours as well?
Yeah. Well, I'm Ashley. Kayla has introduced me to Wild Tree, which is pretty exciting. I joined the end of September, and I guess like my biggest fear with Wild Tree is just asking like my close friends and family, and even people that I work with, to like host parties and to see if they're even interested in Wild Tree. After talking with Kayla, I think it was last week, she really like gave me the confidence to just ask them. So I did. I just asked, all my close friends and family, and I got a party booked out of it. And then I have another friend who is going to be booking. She's just on vacation, so once she gets back, she's going to be booking as well. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
And all you did was just ask. I mean, it sounds
Yes, I just asked.
It sounds so simple, like anyone could do this, but take it back to Michelle's comment. 80% of it's in our brain. Like, you either ask, you don't ask. You either sit back, like Nicole is saying, sit back and not do anything, or you go out there and you find it, and you find the people that want what you have to offer. So I think that's awesome. We have 2 more people to share some of stories, and then we're going to kind of open it up to all of you of what's holding you back, more successes if you want to share that, and how to help continue this momentum, this whole like big, huge momentum with both these organizations moving through the end of the year. So, Erin, I don't know if you're still on. If you are, could
I'm here.
you go up next, please?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. So I initially joined back in, it was like April 2016. I was definitely a discount rep. I just wanted the $50 kit to purchase some stuff on my own. Did it for like, I don't know, a little over a year. And then I went inactive last summer when my son was born, and found Carissa, and decided after chatting with her for several months, going back and forth, I think, about it, to actually sign back up and start doing this again. But I joined back in January again this time, and I still was kind of in the same mindset of just like discount, and maybe it'd be cool if I made $100 or $200 or something like that a month. And I really enjoyed what I was doing with it. It was a nice outlet for me, and the more we would talk about it, Chris approached me, gosh, it was back like August or something like that, about this whole LIT leaders in training chat, and I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit, in the background, and was like, oh sure, I'll just kind of sit in and watch. Maybe it would be helpful, motivational for me. And then they announced the lead program, and there was just kind of something that like clicked. The more we talked about it, the more I was kind of like, you're right, I don't really have to do a whole lot more work. I could just do this smarter and get a bigger pay raise. So why wouldn't I do that? That makes so much more sense, that we could all be earning this 40% instead of 20%. So I guess the thing that was like holding me back before is definitely mindset, and me kind of being like, they do it, but no, I don't really know if it's something that I want to do. And the more, I was in on those group chats and we were talking about it, and something just kind of clicked of like, oh, okay, I could do this. And it wasn't so much that I think I was scared that I couldn't do it. I think it was more that I was worried about the fact that if I tried to go for a team leader, that it would be too much for me, that the business would be, more than I could handle. But really, I feel like if anything, all this has done is taught me to work smarter and not harder. So like, I know I had sat down and kind of broken it up of, what do I need to do to get to team leader? And how could I work more efficiently so that I'm not letting the business kind of manage me, and I'm managing my own business. So now for the first time, I actually enjoy getting up at 5:30 in the morning and doing work for 2 hours. Before, I never was like, oh yes, let's get up at 5:30 in the morning and do some work to go do something.
Well, and Erin, let's just make a little side note too. So Erin's on the East Coast. So some people are like, well, I'm not local to you. I can't make this work. I can't have a team of all these things. That's just an excuse in your own head. She has 2 little kids at home, and her husband's gone a good chunk of the time. So because her mind shift, and she realized like, this could be something to pay for my husband's truck. This could be something to pay for our part of things that are at our home. Maybe it's groceries, maybe it's gas. So she had these, that mind shift, and then she just put it in her head, like, I'm going to wake up at 5:30 and I'm going to do work, and then I'm going to be mom the rest of the day. Because you get that choice too. You get that choice of when you want to work, how much you want to work, and what you're worth. So keep that in your mind too every single day. If it's $100, it's $100. So do $100 work then a month. What, that's what you're going to get out of it. But if you want something a little bit more, you're going to be up and you're going to do what you need to do to make it happen. And I just love that she said that she was excited to get up, because I know if Kayla, I think she's still at her party, but I think she'd be like, heck yeah, girlfriend, you want to talk at 5:30 in the morning? Because she's up then too, and she's rocking things out too. And that's what works for her, her and her family as well. So I'm just super excited. And thanks for sharing, Erin. Tina, as you're getting smashed in the face, you're our last rep.
Saving the rowdy one for last. I have
Yeah.
the front of this kid acts up or starts yelling. So I've been with Wild Tree. It's over a year in August. And I actually second time around, you're right. Gosh, I don't know what, 3-4 years ago I jumped on with Carissa, and I'll be honest, it wasn't the right time. I didn't apply myself, I didn't do the work, I didn't have time to do the work, at least that's what I thought. So I jumped back in August of last year, and I kind of got my feet wet, and I hit the ball, rolling, and really enjoyed what I was doing. And honestly, I thought I was just going to start off doing it as a discount, but then realized the income factor and truthfully helping other people literally menu plan and find healthier solutions. So I was really happy to just kind of keep it moving and, doing the daily work. And some days I wasn't getting my work in, and some days I was kind of scrounging to get my stuff done. And then lo and behold came the lead training. And to be honest, I was very nervous at first, because I've been wanting to be team leader for a while. And so actually doing the work and being in the group and being held accountable, making sure I'm getting the work done, I really enjoyed it. And now, since I started the lead program, I'm up by usually 4:30 at least every morning. Because I am also a bus driver. So the reason I say 4:30 is because if I'm up later than that, I won't get much done for my Wild Tree work, because then once my kids are up, 2 of them are in school, 1 of them is still at home with me, obviously, and she's not a napper. So if I can get as much done in the morning before I start my bus route and start my day off, it benefits me more with Wild Tree and everything else. So,
and Tina, I want to add to your husband. He gets up at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something crazy.
Yes.
So, and the reason why I'm pointing this out is because some of us make an excuse not to work because of our kids, or because of our husbands, or because of the housework, or because of cleaning, when really you should be making the excuse to work because of your kids. You know what I mean? Like, you should be making that, like, your kid should be the reason you want to work, not the excuse you don't want to work. So for me, 1 to 3 is great, because I have no kids, so I can be mom all morning, and then 1 to 3 I can rock it out. Tina can get up at 4:30 and rock it out, and then she can be mom, bus driver, wife, whatever, all day. And I know one of her daughters has a ton of appointments, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of like stealing Tina's thunder right here, but I thought she was going to start slapping you. But one thing that I wanted to say about Tina too is that, so she's got the 3 girls. Her husband's like gone all the time at weird hours, works weekends because of just out of the blue. But she had done a vendor event a couple weeks ago, and her babysitter bailed on her. So myself included, I probably would have just been like, oh, okay, I don't think I can come. Like, I have 4 kids. I don't think I'm gonna be able to show up without losing my sanity or having a drink on me when I get there. Tina rolled into the place with her kids, rocked out the vendor event, sold like almost $300 worth. So she didn't make the excuses. So I think that's why I'm getting so excited and passionate about this, is because you get to decide with all these ladies sharing, like you get to decide if you want to ask, if you want to step outside the computer, if you want to raise, no excuses necessary. So leading into that piece of it, if there's any questions for anyone that shared, please ask now. And then also, I would love to hear from you all, like, if you're not really happy with where you're sitting on November 13th and where you're going for the end of this month, like, what can we do as a team, these two teams combined, like, what can we do to help you or to encourage you or give ideas? Because I would love to help you, and I would love to hear what, and if everyone's great, but I would love to open it up to all of you to kind of share and maybe give some key notes to those that are kind of stuck in limbo.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry that I missed everybody's awesome stories. So I will be listening to the playback tonight after my husband and family are all asleep. But I am guessing that the majority of people on this call want to kick some ass this fall, or you wouldn't be on this team call that we do the second Tuesday of every month. So I just wanted to add again, I'm jumping in. I don't know what was already said, but get out there. Oh, do I have a bad echo? And probably is my vehicle. I'm sorry, you guys. But get out there and get something on your books as soon as possible from today, because you are genuinely missing the most festive, awesome season by not, don't let fear stop you. And I'm guessing some of the gals that shared tonight talked about that, but I just really am passionate. I'm leaving a party where these people are on fire and they're placing bigger orders and they're making freezer meals, and it's just because of the season. So I don't know if that helps motivate anybody, but I just didn't want to stay on mute and not say it. Don't miss out on this.
That was Kayla, you're spot on. That was the theme of the entire call, basically. Oh,
okay, good. That's what we wanted. When Carissa and I talked about this month's call, we wanted personal testimonies of people who, it's not perfect, you guys. I got to hear the Tina story, taking her kids to a vendor event, but this business is hard and we get shot down. I had a lady text me today and tell me what a terrible rep I was. Guys, I've been doing this 5 years. I think I'm a pretty decent rep, and she just hates me for some reason, but it's okay. I just told her, no problem. Thanks anyway. Sorry that I messaged you. And I just let it go, because the bulk of people I checked in with in the last 24 hours, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm coming to your holiday open house, or oh my gosh, I want to buy one of those soups on bundles tomorrow night at that vendor event, or you guys get it. This is the time. Christmas music playing and trees going up, and people just are more willing to support a small business. So just really, you got to put yourself out there. It does not happen on luck. That's, I guess, what I want you to take away. Those of us that are making this business, yes, that's my seatbelt thing. I am an idiot. Sorry. I just got so excited to get on this call. I couldn't handle it myself. The people that are making this business work, any of the people that spoke, anyone on this call that's a team leader, it's because they're not afraid to put themselves out there. And yes, 1% of the time we get rejection. 99% of the time, we're glad we put ourselves out there.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any questions about anything or want to make a comment? We have about 7 minutes left. So,
can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, this is Megan.
Hey, Megan.
Hey, I didn't get to introduce myself because I kind of got on here a little bit late.
Oh, that's okay.
I had a quick question. Okay, so you guys are talking about the holidays and all that kind of stuff, but some of the people that I have talked to about hosting a party and everything, they actually told me, now is not a good time because of the holidays. What would I say to those people? Because, money's tight because I got to buy Christmas presents. And, I know I can offer them Wild Tree, but, how do I go about doing that?
You want to take it, Carissa?
Well, we've had this conversation a couple times, Tina, Megan, and myself. So I want to hear what you would say.
Okay. I love this question. Okay. So I'm geeking out in my car because I love questions like this. So I would say to them, oh my gosh, I hear you. This holiday season seems to be the busiest yet. But let me ask you this. Do you think you and any of your friends, even a couple of them, would find benefit in having healthier, easy meals on hand still during the holiday season? And then based on what she says, I would lead with a workshop only because I think that's sexier to have on hand as far as convincing a hostess that maybe she does have 2 hours to prep meals that they need to eat anyway, because people have to eat during the holidays. So without being sarcastic and a little bit maybe offensive, I would say it first like that. If she says, no, I'm really not interested, say, no problem. Here's the deal. Are you interested in January or February, or are you not interested at all? Sometimes, Megan, people genuinely are saying like, not right now, I'm so busy, because they just don't want to host. So I'm teaching like my team, let's just get to the bottom of that right now and let's get them crossed off your funnel. If they're never going to host, why keep circling back? But if they really are interested, like, no, Megan, I did think about it. I just really don't have any days in December. Then you say, no problem. I do have January 14th and 17th still open. Do one of those days work? We'll pencil it in and I'll check in with you right around Christmas time. Like, I just think people are like, okay, if you run your business like a professional with having the next plan. So my advice on that would be try to encourage them to think about the fact that we still eat in December, but if they're not interested in a tasting or a workshop, date the January or February party today. Not, I'm going to call you the first week in January. It will never get dated. Yeah. That's my advice.
Agreed.
Okay, thank you.
Agreed. And that's for like everyone too. I mean, I have some people that are like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Okay, well, you know, after the holidays, I'm very much like, okay, well, January's starting to fill up, or I only have a limited days in January, whatever, but make sure you get it dated, because like Kayla said, come January 1st and you're trying to circle your tail, like with booking, it's just not, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And I'm not being negative about that either. I want to make sure I say that. It's just life. Like, if they're the kind of people that put it off, they'll just put you off again in January. So I'm just trying to prevent the disappointment in you and also that annoying follow-up with her, because eventually a person who's a putter-offer kind of person ends up blaming us down the road, even though it's not us. They end up saying something like, oh my gosh, that wild trip, she just keeps asking me. Yeah, ding dong, because you keep saying yes in the future. Yes, in the future. So I just say, like, let's pin it down, because then I know where they're at. So does that help? I hope that helps.
Yes, that helped a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, and that comes with confidence. If you can't tell, you gotta work on that. I hope you guys kind of see the theme of this whole call was getting out of your own way, because I don't think I'm being rude or pushy by saying to them, well, let's get it dated. Most of the time, they really do want to get it dated too. But that 10% that's just jerking you around, Megan, I like to drop them like they're hot before they ever waste my time. You guys are all valuable, worthy, incredible women. You do not have time to be jerked around by somebody who's just wasting your time. Who else has a question? Don't be shy.
I don't have a question, but I just want to say I'm pretty quiet, and I enjoy reading at night when I'm ready for bed. I read our links, and it just pumps me up for the next day. And I might not be as successful as everyone yet, but I'm still motivated and still moving forward. I have 2 Facebook parties and I think 4 vendor events this month and my open house. So I'm still out there, even if you're not seeing me post as much maybe in the links and stuff. I just love listening to all you ladies, and you are giving us true inspiration.
I love that, Jennifer. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so that's where actually this call, like rethinking back to the people you heard tonight, I want you to stop using that language that you started that whole thing with. Like, just because I'm maybe not as successful as you guys yet, or you don't see me as much, like, don't use that language. All the things you have going on are incredible. Like, I don't get up in the morning and say, oh my gosh, I'm never going to sell as much as Carissa does. That's an honest truth, you guys, because I don't have those goals right now in my business. So I think that was Jen talking, maybe. I'm not really sure. Yeah. But okay, Jen, then I would just say to you, like, celebrate what you're doing. Celebrate the amount of awesomeness you have. Celebrate where you want to go. Like, set goals for yourself, but don't start the conversation out with like, I'm not as active or as successful. Like, that's bullshit. That's where all those lies start. Like, that's awesome that you chimed in and you said this, because that was a great, like, wrapping it up here if we get kicked off soon. Like, you're doing awesome. Don't downplay what each of you are doing. You don't have to want to be a director. If that's not your goal here, who cares? But maybe $500 before Christmas extra income is your goal. Then be proud of that when you make that happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why I use the word yet. I'm not yet,
Okay.
but I'm going to be.
Can you tell?
In like 5 seconds.
Okay. I love you all. Kick some asses, fall.